Good morning. Thank you so much, sir, for your encouraging words. It was really an eye-opener, and I'm very much humbled to share the stage with you. Thank you so much, sir, for your words. Um, I'll start with a small story. How many of you are familiar with the Koramangala Sony World Signal Junction? Doesn't it look very obvious that you can take a right if you come from the BDA complex road and can go to Wipro Park, but you don't have a right cut that? So what you are when you are at the junction, you are actually at the crossroads. So I think all of us, I'm here on the stage and you are here in the seats, but doesn't mean that we are like very different. But then we are all at crossroads at some point or the other. And then when you are at crossroads, what you need to do is you really need to make a choice. You need to make a wise choice in life, right? A little bit about, I think you've heard what I do, but then I'll kind of introduce a little bit about the company that I work for. I work for a company by name General Electric. You would have heard about it. We call it GE. It's a typically 140-year-old company generating a revenue of around 150 billion US dollars globally, present in 150 countries, and employing around 3 lakh employees around the globe. So sir has spoken about having the entrepreneur spirit, and then we have to fight and we have to find the right opportunity and set up something here. I think that's the entire mode, or I would say the entire cult in the country now. But I would also like to unfurl this fact in front of you that companies like ours also gives an opportunity to the existing employees to become something called as entrepreneur. Okay, so that you can do something on your own. You can take up development projects. You can take up, we don't call it Make in India, but we call it In Country for Country, or ICFC project. So being in the organization, being in the system, you still can do something different and make a difference to this world. A little bit about the divisions that we have, or I should kind of throw up open what are the different segments that you can think of. We are pretty much into aviation, healthcare, transportation, media industry, energy. So if you think that you have something in you which can be aligned to these divisions, so you can might as well think of something. So in my 15 minutes of talk, what I'm going to do is ask a few questions and try to see that if we are all in sync to kind of understand the questions, if not the answers. So comes my first question. Why do you wake up in the morning? Is it the alarm clock? Or is it the rush to attend the first lecture? Or be it to be the first one on the road to beat the Bangalore traffic? Yeah? But I think what's more important is that, and there are reasons beyond those, right? I would insist you to look to your left. I insist, look to your left and to your right. And here comes the alarming statement. One of you 3 guys are prone to cancer. Because the data shows that 1 in 3 people in this world are prone to cancer. Isn't that alarming? So many of us are fortunate to see our grandparents, and then we often see that they have a tendency to forget things. So they are not just age old, but they are also suffering from Alzheimer's. As I finish this talk in next, say, 20 minutes, there will be already 40-45 people died in some part of this world. So the world is struck with a lot of diseases, and I think that's a purpose, that's a context enough to kind of wake up in the morning with a purpose, right? So comes my next question. Where do you start from? I mean, you can't just wake up in the morning and then walk somewhere, you need to kind of know that where you should start, where do you go, and then align your activities towards the problem statements. Welcome to the life sciences space. It's an unconventional career option that you have. We have the government jobs, we have the service sector jobs, we also have teaching jobs, but then this is one sector which is booming, and then we would see that in some of the consecutive slides. So when I talk about the life sciences sector, typically there are big pharmaceutical companies like the Cadila or the Zydus. We have biopharma companies, and we have the biggest and one of the world's top 20 over here right in Bangalore. You know it all, right? Biocon. And also we have the life sciences enablers, who are typically the instrument companies like ours. Just to give you a perspective of what it takes to develop a drug. Say for example, if somebody is suffering from cancer. So, and then we know that cancer is treatable / non-treatable, somebody has to die someday or the other. But then what it takes from the biopharma companies to develop a drug is about 15 years and an investment of around $800 million US. So look at it as an opportunity, and there are so many divisions while developing a drug, where if somebody is interested, be it a researcher, then you can be at the discovery stage, you can be at the preclinical research stage, you can be at the product development stage, you might as well can get into a QC or a QA kind of a space. There are a lot of job opportunities also in the regulatory and the tech transfer space as well. So if research kind of excites you, then there are more than enough jobs available in the research space. And then if you're someone like me, if instrumentation excites you, then you can work on an enabler to enable the research, the entire research workflow. You can be a part of the product development, product management, supporting applications, or might as well business development and corporate communications, because it's also important to let the world know that what are you working on, what vaccine are you working on, and then address it to them. Comes my third question, how? Okay, you told that there is a problem, I'll wake up in the morning, I'll go this way, but kaise? You can take the MSc or the MTech route. The way it goes is this. So if you do an MSc, you might as well can join the academics and brighten up bright minds to take up the job. Or you can directly join the industry and be in either of the R&D or the production, quality, marketing, those kind of divisions. So doing a MSc is not uncool anymore. Or you might as well can take a step ahead and take the PhD route. And if you do a PhD, then you have a choice to either go into the industry and be in a leadership role there, or you might as well can do a basic research, set up your own labs, and that's what the IICs and the NCBAs, TIFR, a lot of IITs, they do in this country, right? What else? So it's also important that you set up a context in life, you know the problem statement, you create a purpose, and then you have the right education. But there are also some things which you need to kind of assimilate in you as you go along the way, right? And I think Sir has already mentioned few of them, so I won't take a lot of time. Interpersonal skills. So never lose an opportunity to kind of to interact with the people. So be it the auto driver on the road, or maybe the bus conductor in the bus, or whosoever. Take a moment to thank the traffic police who is doing an amazing job out there, hot in the sun. So and trust me, you have you have things to learn from each one of them. So a small story. So I said this in one of the interviews, and I said that I learned something from the auto driver who took me here. So take an opportunity to learn from each one that you interact during the day. When we say communication skills, it's always interpreted that I should speak the best. But I must say that you have to be a more active listener. I attended a TED Talk last month where one of the RJs in one of the popular radio stations in this city, she gave a very nice lecture on the art of listening. So be a better listener than a talker. And ignite this critical thinking in you. I mean, whatever happens in this world, trust me, happens for a purpose. And then, so when you see the garbage dump and a BMW passing by, so you have all the opportunities to think that ye kya ho raha hai. But then both the things that is happening in the same street happens for a purpose. So try to think beyond, and try to think beyond the obvious things that comes in your mind. So kind of ignite that critical thinking in you. I think that kind of helps a lot. You need to kind of grow a little bit of presentation skills, because wherever you are, I think most of the audience that I'm seeing are students, but then you have to present even when you are in college. You have to present when you are in corporates, and presentation skill doesn't fade away anywhere. I mean, you have to present yourself even when you are married, or when you have a son and when you have your grandson. So be presentable and present yourself the best you are. Work on the leadership skills that you have. So leadership skills doesn't always mean that you need to have a mic in front of you and a crowd of 500 listening to you. I mean, you can execute leadership skills wherever you are. You can show leadership skills in those small lab setups where you take up a small project. You can take leadership skills while executing a small project outside your academia. So encourage leadership skills in you. That's very, very critical. Okay, I think I need not talk anything about networking. I think we are all master in networking. But then the point that I want to mention is network with a purpose. Find that person who might be helpful to you, and then build up a relationship. The future of biotechnology is not bad, right? It's pretty exciting. So there's a third-party report which came up, and it says that biotech is a $200 billion industry within next 5 years. So it's a good place to be in. And I think Sir has already shown how India is growing in terms of the GDP, but then the healthcare and especially the life sciences sector, it's growing at double digits. So I think the numbers that we saw something around 5, 7, 8%, but then it's growing at 12, 14% here. So my final statement is write the growth. The other thing that I would also want to mention is that do explore the opportunities. I mean, take a moment to get in touch with us and see that what we are doing and what is that you have in your mind. So explore the opportunities. I mean, don't think that he is a scientist, so I can't talk to them. He is a professor, so I will not talk to him. I don't want to kind of take the research route or the R&D route. But explore the opportunities and do take all the opportunity to engage with people. And then trust me, it's not a one-way traffic. Even the companies evolve along with the brightest minds in the country. We have we do a lot of product developments, tech developments, application development, scientific note publication in our own lab, which is in Whitefield. So reach out to us if you're interested in anything in the life sciences, biotechnologies space. So I really thank you so much for the attention, and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.